Time there.
Great memories there, Steve. Brian, Pat, Tommy McDonald, all the lads, Mike Jennings. I spent about a year there with them. Great fun, great bunch of lads, and great club.
How did you mix in with fellow strong characters who were always looking for a wind-up?
I always fitted in well with the lads down here. I had a lot of laughs. Tommy McDonald's the life and soul of the gym with all the jokes.
What is the latest on you when we might see you back in action?
Hopefully back in action soon. Just waiting on a few things getting sorted out and return to my former glory.
And your former glory is what, and what will it be in the future?
The former glory doesn't need an introduction.
You can introduce yourself.
Nah, I'd rather not. Everybody knows who this guy is. And obviously I'm just going to come back and do my thing, win them all back again.
Are you looking at all the rankings and looking at who you might have to bump off, shall we say, on your route to
Not
reclaim?
really, because I'm mandatory by all organisations when I return anyway. So apart from the IBF, which I'd never box for again anyway, they still owe me 40 grand, by the way. So if they want to pay it back, they can. If they don't, stick it. Yeah.
So what would you look at? Would you look at for one warm-up fight and then straight in?
Don't know really. I'm not really interested in warm-ups. I'm 28. I'm not 38. So being out 2 years, it's a long time, but if I'm any good, I can come back and beat these bums of today. They're all no good anyway. Looking at weightlifters and basketball players. So I'm a true-bred brawn fighting man. If I can't come back after a 2 year layoff and beat these bums, then I must be a bum myself.
You describe them as bums. I presume you mean Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Who's the best out of those two? Who would give you the hardest night's work?
None of them. They both won't give me an hard night work. They both only got a puncher's chance against someone like me. But you could get someone 10 stone through there. They'll have a puncher's chance too. I'm like the gingerbread man. Catch me if you can.
So do you think the Joshua fight will happen next year at Wembley?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. How can it not happen? It's the biggest fight in boxing in this country's history anyway. When has there ever been two gigantic, undefeated heavyweights fight each other? A former undisputed champion and a current unified champion. There hasn't.
What do you make of the comments though? You're looking forward to fighting him when he says that his win against Klitschko was more impressive and exciting than yours?
So styles make fights, as we've seen with Ali and Foreman, Frazier and Foreman. Clash of styles means nothing, to be honest, there, Steve. His fight was exciting, but it did put a lot of mileage on the clock. And boxing people will know what I'm talking about. Took a lot of punishment in that fight. He took shots that would never hit me at all. So we saw the fight with me, Klitschko didn't land a glove on me. And the shot he did land on me, right there, I laughed at him. Same shot, buried Joshua to the canvas. So it is what it is. All of these people who are saying, even him himself, saying, oh, Tyson fight was boring, but my style is impregnable. It can't be beaten. I can beat 99.9% of fighters out there. 25 stone, and I can still beat them today. So there's no chance. I'm awkward, long, tough, durable. Angles can switch. I'm a giant. I've got the longest arms in the world. I've got the fire burning will, determination of a lion. What more can they do? It's easy to beat me. Brendan Ingalls said it years ago. He said, how to beat Tyson Fury is very easy. And I'll say it straight to the camera because I want them to know. The only way to beat me is nail me to the canvas. And if you don't do that, you've lost. Simple. It's very simple, isn't it, Stephen? Right. Boxing, one shot, out. It's not failing now. Even if you put me down, I'm going to get back up and I'm going to hurt you even more.
It's like this job. It's not rocket science, Tyson, is it?
It's very simple, isn't it? But simple things, what looks simple on the outside, when they're in there, become very difficult.
And if there is one heavyweight out there who you think could put you on your backside and out for the count, who would that be if there is one? You said there's 99.9%. Which heavyweight has got that 0.1% of doing that?
Anybody, any given man on his night is capable of anything. So there you go. Pick a top 100 heavyweight, anybody, and that on that 1% chance, they can do it. Every good dog has its night.